Imagine this, 5 days a week, you only get 1 hour of free time a day. No time for friends, relationships, or passions. Just enough time for maybe a gym session, cut short. Sounds extreme, doesn't it? It's not. That's been my reality since I was 15. I've had no time for businesses on the weekdays. Any time I spend exploring new hobbies usually happens on a Sunday. And any time I spend with my friends outside of school needs to be planned 2 weeks in advance. Or just has to be stupid lucky. During many weeks. I don't want you to get too pitiful for me. I don't work 5 days a week every week, but I do average around 4 days a week. Well, you probably don't have to imagine this. You might be in a similar situation like I am. This has just been what many school weeks have been from 10th grade to 12th grade. For example, 2 days before I started scripting this video, I woke up at 7 a.m., went to school from 7:30 to 3, picked up my sister from school at 3:30, and then went to work from 4:30 to 8:30. So in total, I'm doing some sort of work or school for around 13 hours a day. And you know what? 2 days before that, I did the same thing. And the day before that as well. I may make $400 by doing this 5 days a week, which is extremely high, mind you. Most people do not make $20 an hour. Most people will get closer to $200, but I am missing out on so much free time to advance my other parts of life. By working most days of the week, I have virtually zero free time to work on any of my passion projects, which is really just YouTube at the time. But it could be some other sort of passion project if you're thinking about your own situation. And because of that, I really have two options. Either only work on my YouTube channel for around 10 hours a week, while other people with similar ideas are working 50 hours a week, or sacrifice any time with friends and family and work on my channel 25 hours a week. Or the hidden third option, which is to hope that my manager accepts my new availability. But looking at the first two, obviously, if I just work on my YouTube channel for 10 hours a week, it's gonna be very difficult for me to actually make enough videos, enough quality, enough everything in order to actually be successful. And if I abandon everything else in my life and just work, go to school, and make YouTube videos, that's not gonna be good for me long-term either. Now, you're probably not in as extreme of a situation as I might be portraying here, but think about it this way. If you go to school for 7 hours a day, work on homework for 1 hour a day, work for 4 hours a day, and travel to your locations for around an hour a day, and go to the gym for an hour a day, because you better be doing that, you have 10 hours left in your day, which is really the amount of time that you should be in bed, because people under the age of 18 should get around 9 hours of sleep a day, and in order to get 9 hours of sleep, you should be in bed for around 10 hours. For optimal health, which why would you go to the gym if you don't also want optimal health? How are you supposed to not even just accomplish things like make a business or study for AP exams? How are you supposed to discover your interests and your passions when you spend all your time working? I know the title says to quit your job, but sadly, that's not gonna be possible for nearly any of you. At least in the US, I don't know about other cultures, but in order to hang out with your friends, you usually need some money. Yeah, you could go to each other's houses, but usually it comes up that everyone wants to go someplace because everyone can drive, everyone has a job. They just want to take advantage of those two things. And secondly, most parents that I know want their kid having some sort of job and are very uncomfortable with their kid not having a job. Because in most situations, that's a kid being lazy and not taking advantage of their time, and trading time that they could be making money and learning responsibility in for scrolling on TikTok and playing video games. However, you really do need some free time because life is just too unpredictable for you not to have a shield of time for you to be able to fit sudden events. For example, I've been able to take advantage of my free time this week in order to study for my AP Calculus test. But if I had all scheduled away to work, I would have to either sacrifice going to the gym, my YouTube channel, or my sleep, which I did sacrifice some of my sleep the other day, but only like an hour. This is one of the main problems that adults have and that have been confirmed by studies, which is that so many adults fill up nearly all their time that they have no wiggle room to explore any interests or hobbies or passions or to deal with sudden events, because all their time is already scheduled. But there's still something you can do to alleviate this situation. A way that you can still explore your interests, make friends, have a business, get girls, etc. We'll see about that second to last one. That's very personal to you. Take advantage of summer and college breaks. And really college in general, because there is much more flexibility with your scheduling versus high school. But definitely summer breaks, where for instance, you have 2.5 months of no school time, which used to be like 8 hours a day. So if you just traded that for working, then you'll basically be a full-time employee for 2 months, which is the same as me being a part-time 20-hour employee for 4 months. And if that's not possible for you, you can always try reducing your hours at your current job. For example, I could reduce my current hours, which gets me around $400 an hour and 20 hours a week, down to 10 hours a week and $200, because my current expenses is around $100 a week. Because the best time to explore your interests, possible careers, and passions is when you're young and you have no expenses. Like imagine any adult you know saying that they just have $400 a month in expenses. You have to take advantage of this time. So many people, when they are done with high school, have no idea what they want to do with their life. And even the people that think they know what they want to do with their life has only explored 0.1% of the careers available to them. So what I'm saying is use some of this time that you were working to then explore these careers, figure out what you want to do for the rest of your life, and have a chance of saving tens of thousands of dollars. Because if you end up changing your desired path in college, that could cost you an extra tuition bill. And let me tell you, as someone going to college in a few months, you do not want that. And then also just make sure to look for a better job. Tips are absolutely overpowered, so try to get a job that incorporates them somehow. For example, I used to work at Taco Bell and make $15.50 an hour, and that's all I made. I wasn't allowed to get tips. We didn't have any tipping systems, so that's all I got. I then moved over to Starbucks, which had an extra $1 an hour, which was great, but we also got to make tips. And that's why I keep telling you guys that I make $20 an hour, because on average, I'm making $3 to $5 an hour every week from tips. Especially during the holiday season, from November to December, I'm making like upwards of $10 an hour in tips. So I'm asking of you, spend more of your time interning. Try to find a company around you who'd be willing to let you follow them around for just a week, just to see what this career that you've been interested in and how it works. Spend more time learning, research more career paths, look into how much money they make, look into how many job openings are opening every year, and then still work. You still need some money, but maybe just a little bit less. This will lead you to making less mistakes in your future careers, trying to do things that you were bound not to like from the get-go. Now, don't forget to lower your hours, create a balanced day, and think better. I'll catch you over in this video right here.